yes. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Yeah. The lighting is. This lighting is. Okay. Whew. Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of What the Hall. I'm your host Mohammed, and on this podcast we're going to do two things. The first half is what's on my mind, and the second half is what's on my face. Now we're trying something new. I've been posting content here for probably about 6 months. I just kind of got back into being online. And so what's happened is I've been on Instagram for the last month or so. I've gone live a couple times with my friends and posted some stuff, and I've had a lot of fun over there. And so as a direct kind of had like a light bulb moment, and I was like, okay, I need to go back on the internet. I need to post my videos on YouTube, not YouTube's, in a different way. Because what I've been doing in the last few months is I've been doing these sort of flat lay, aesthetically, trying to make things aesthetically pleasing and whatnot. And I don't think it's really working for me. So I'm going to do it this way. So before we get into the main new launches, this is usually the shortest episode that I'll put out. But in trying to do things differently, what's going to happen moving forward is on YouTube, you're going to get the On My Face segments, and then the On My Mind segment, I'm going to add on to this and post it in the streaming platform. So if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music, you'll be able to, get to know me a little bit better, listen to the first half that's missing from this edit. So yeah, that's what we're doing going forward. Is on YouTube, we're just doing the On My Face segments, and in the audio, we're doing the extended version of this pod. Because this was always supposed to be a pod, and I don't think I approached this correctly, but I'm learning. I'm trying to find new ways of delivering this stuff. All right, so this is the May new launches. And so before we get into the product element, one thing that I wanted to bring up last month that I forgot about was recycling programs. So April was Earth Month, right? I think that's what it's called. It's Earth Month. And so in the last couple of weeks, I noticed that Sephora has launched a program called Beauty Repurposed, which is a way for you to bring in your empties to the store, and they'll be able to look after the recycling and repurposing of the plastics and the glass, etc. And that's fine. It's similar to what all the fast fashion retailers do. You bring in their empties. Some of them will give you vouchers, what have you. But if you're in Canada, I don't know if you've seen this, and this is not just a flash in the pan. This is something that's been going for well over a year. If you go to your local Hudson's Bay, they have an even better scheme. So theirs is called Re/Purpose Beauty. And so their scheme, I'm going to put the images on the video and put the links in the comments in the description section. But the way their scheme is set up, it's for every 5 empties that you bring them, they give you 1,000 points. 1,000 points is the equivalent of $5. So there's an actual monetary benefit to going there first and trying to get rid of your empties through them. You don't have to necessarily bring luxury items or items that are stocked exclusively in their stores. It can be any number of things. There is a real exhaustive list of things on the website. What I did was I just compiled a bunch of empties, washed all the containers, put everything in a Ziploc, and I counted the number of items that I had. And then when I went to the beauty hall, talked to the associate and said, hey, I've got these, where's the program? And you have to go to their website, because not every single department or every single Bay store will offer this, but check the website, see if your local store has it, and just bring your empties cleaned out. I think it caps at about 60 mils per container. And again, it can be any number of brands, products, things you get at the pharmacy, at the supermarket. It doesn't have to be the top of the top sort of products that they sell in their store. So I love this scheme. There's an actual monetary gain for the end user, and I can buy one or two. I could buy a little Breville something or other that I have on my wish list You may be able to get an Alexander Vautier dress. I mean, think about it. The Bay has an endless assortment of products. You can get absolutely anything there now. You know, something to consider. Now, let's move on to the new launches for the month of May. I'm going to try to record this quickly because the lighting is so good. It's been overcast all day. It rained at one point and now the sun is beaming and I've got some time. So let's just do this. All right. So went to my local stores here and there, pharmacies everywhere, and you know, just try to find things that I thought were compelling, exciting, interesting this month. And couple of things. So first, we'll start with Chanel. I went to the local Chanel and the items that I was looking to speak on were all sealed. There were no testers on the counter. They didn't have any foiled samples, nothing. So there was no way for me to engage with any of these items. But there were two things that came out in the month of May that really spoke to me. So the first item is the Hydra-Beauty Micro Crème Yeux, which is an illuminating, hydrating eye cream. I like a rich texture when it comes to an eye product, but I'm certain that there are some of you out there who have puffiness, maybe are younger, and you want to get into an eye cream. This would be a really promising one to look at. It's supposed to be a fast-absorbing gel cream. 91% of the ingredients are naturally derived. It's got algae, a tetrapeptide, and it's acting on puffiness and dark circles. That's the claim. Really, this is, if I could diagnose it, I would say this is the product for those people who are under 30, who just want to start using a really nice eye cream. You can see in the actual container, there's little blue spheres. And so it also talks about when you put the product on, it's pearlescent. So that's going to hide shadows immediately. And because it is Chanel, these products are really going to complement the makeup application. So, you know, if you're new to skincare or if you are somebody who wears makeup, this might be one to consider. The other product that I was most drawn to was the Le Lift Pro Masque Uniformité. So this one from Chanel, they have different ranges of skincare, right? So the Hydra-Beauty is like your intro for the beginners, new to skincare. Then you have your Sublimage for the people with deep pockets and want the most anti-aging. And then just one tier down, you have Le Lift Pro. So that's their anti-aging, still very expensive, but not as expensive as Sublimage. Now, Le Lift Pro has 3 items. Initially, it was just a serum and a moisturizer, one texture, all skin types. And now they've added on this mask. So this mask is supposed to do 2 things. It's supposed to help with dark spots, pigmentation, and also volume. So I think it's one of these that's supposed to replump and give the skin back its fullness, but it has some sort of enzyme and some B3 in here, so it's good for pigmentation. I liked this idea because one, it's a gel texture just by reading it and seeing the product, and I respond pretty well to the Chanel skincare. Some of these perfume brands that make skincare, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of times. My skin reacts to it, but Chanel is one of the better ones. And the Lift Pro series, everything is fragrance-free and suitable for a sensitive skin. So if you like your premium skincare and you want a mask to, you know, tick a couple of boxes in your routine, this would be a beautiful product to get into. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to smell or feel it or play around with it, but just having tried Chanel in the past, I know that this is going to be a good one. So have a look out for this. Now, the next 2 items are ones that I was able to actually interact with. So the first one, or this is the 3rd item for this month, is the Nécessaire Body Retinol. Now, Nécessaire was on my radar in the last couple of years. It's all over Instagram. It's one of these sort of Glossier type brands, really targeting the Gen Z millennial customer, right? They want our pockets. And the other thing that's interesting about Nécessaire is there's been this rise in like anti-aging body products I've noticed. I can go back and remember working in the stores and always thinking to myself, okay, I've mastered my skincare routine. I know what products I like. I know what things work well for me. Why can't I get body washes, scrubs, creams that do more than perfume or have caffeine. It was always a very limited array of products that you could get for the body. And now suddenly in the last 3 years, it looks like these brands or these skincare brands are trying to squeeze out more dollars out of people. And because of the skintellectual culture as well, I think they see that there's a rise in people who are knowledgeable, people who are more discerning when it comes to what they purchase, and they're really tapping into the segment. I saw Isle of Paradise, which is known for doing fake tan, had come out with a couple of different formulations of body products, washes, scrubs, and moisturizers. But the one that, and I couldn't get these because they never came in stock. They were on the websites, but no stock available through Sephora. So what I did purchase was the Nécessaire body retinol. Again, Nécessaire I think is like the body version of like a Glossier, right? I think it was just a DTC brand and subsequently more distribution. Their body products are really uninteresting to me for the most part. It's just fragrance free. Some things have eucalyptus. Not really interested. Fine. But this really spoke to me because it said two things: 10% AHA and 0.1% retinol. I was like, okay, that's promising. So I picked up the product. Great packaging, everything's recyclable, and they talk about their eco-conscious credentials on the packaging. Really well done, really clear. And then for the skintellectuals, it talks about pH because that matters, whatever. What I liked about this most is that they describe it as a serum in balm. And that is a very accurate way of describing it, because when you pump it, it looks like it's going to be firm, but then when you sweep it onto the skin, it just melts immediately. Now, I was concerned that, there's going to be all these claims, but it's really not going to deliver. But immediately on contact, I felt that prickly, tingling sensation on my forearms. So I know this product, it's going to do what it says. It's supposed to be for crepiness, lines, wrinkles, spots, scars, marks, everything. If you've used AHA or retinol on your face and you know how transformative that is, you know it's going to be equally as transformative on your body. So definitely one to consider. The only concern that I have with this is not a summertime product. This is a nighttime treatment that I'm going to be using fall and winter, early spring. But now it's May. June is just around the corner. I'm not using this product right now because I don't trust myself to be diligent with my SPF on my arms and my legs. So I'm just going to put this to one side for now. But if you are looking for a body product to help with uneven elbows and knees and just make your skin as smooth and as glowing as your skin on your face, definitely something to consider. It's pricey, but it's looking like it's really worth it. Now, the last thing that I want to speak about this month is something that really blew me away. In my Sephora order a couple weeks back, I was able to get a sample of Double Serum Classic and the new formulation, the Light Texture. And so Double Serum is an incredible product. I've used it several times. I used the previous incarnation where the two chambers were on left and right side. And then it got revamped a couple years ago. They took out the mineral oil and now it's like a chamber inside the bottle. So they updated the packaging and also the ingredients. When they relaunched the product, I just remember all of this marketing surround the fact that it had lots of turmeric, and that was like the hero ingredient. There's also an additional 21 different plant extracts. And in my years of using skincare, I will always stand behind this one. I will always say that all the legacy or like big juggernaut beauty brands, your Lauders, your Lancomes, they all have a one-size-fits-all serum that complements all of their skincare products. Clarins is the winner. Clarins makes the best one-size-fits-all serum. Double Serum is uncontested. I would happily repurchase this from now until the day it's the best. It's the best, it's the best, it's the best. Now, I love the classic Double Serum. I think it's perfection. I'm happy with it. But then, when I tried the foil of the Light Texture, I was really impressed. It is the perfect serum for hot, humid climates like Toronto, where it's very muggy and, sometimes you can't breathe, you're just choking on the heat. It's the perfect sort of lightweight preventative antioxidant serum if you live in such a climate, or if you have an oily skin and you want something that's going to be moisturizing without feeling too weighty. Where the original double serum, it has that real, it feels really cocooning almost. You feel it on your skin. It's got this nice slip. It looks a little bit luminous. This one is completely different. It's aqueous, it's fresh, it's fast absorbing, and it has little to no sheen. They describe it as being a barely there finish, and that's exactly what it is. The classic double serum, you feel it, it's satisfying. This, the light texture, is barely there. That's really the distinction. They say that it's also good for men. I mean, anyone, young, old, whatever your ethnicity, skin type, if you are looking for a natural, botanical-based product, antioxidant, can tackle any number of your concerns, get into the double serum, right? And if you are on the oilier side, the light texture, you'll love it. I think it's really impressive. I will happily use the light texture in place of the classic during the warmer time of the year. I've got some other things that I'm working through right now, so I'm not buying it. But I was really resistant to this product, and then having felt it, I can see the appeal. It's pretty impressive, very impressive. So that's a roundup of the main new ins. I hope that this format, is working for you. And as I said initially, go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music, and you can listen to the first half of this podcast. So thank you for listening. Thank me for speaking, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.